Hi friends, I am Christine. Welcome to this mini training, which is about how to use your own clothes to figure out your sewing pattern size. So if you don't know me, like I said, I am Christine and I am from Confused to Creative Sewing. I love everything sewing. I'm obsessed with pattern drafting. I taught myself pattern drafting and I love to help people figure out those tiny little things that are holding them back and just giving them those light bulb moments. So that's what I'm hoping to do with these mini trainings is I am hoping to help you have a light bulb moment and just say, aha, okay, now I get it. So I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. I have a lovely resource for you, an Excel spreadsheet that's free for you to make a copy of. It works online on Google Sheets. So I think you need to log in for that. I'm not sure. But it's a handy little tool that you can use, a little calculator, to figure out the ease you want on your sewing pattern. I put this together for you quickly, and I'm going to talk about pattern ease and sizing. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail around ease because what we're going to get to actually is using your own clothes to figure out your ideal pattern size. So using your favorite blouse, your favorite trousers, your favorite t-shirt to figure out which size you actually like. And the idea for this training came from someone in my group who asked, which size should I choose? I see the pattern has it's something like 15 centimeters of ease. Is that a lot? It seems like a lot. How do I know if it will fit me? How do I know if it will feel too oversized? And looking at the final garment measurement chart can sometimes be confusing in this sense. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to find out what you like, what your unique ease preference is. So first we'll start really quickly with what is ease. And ease is the additional space added to a sewing pattern. So a sewing pattern is like a puzzle piece or just a template of the body, a basic block. If you've ever drafted a basic block, it's usually quite closely fitted to your body. And then you add ease. You add ease for movement because if you're like this in a woven thing, you're not going to move. And you add ease for design as well. Something would be flowy, or if you're drafting with stretch fabric, you can make it smaller than the body. And that is what we call the ease. Easy, make it easy to move in, if you will. So it's just the extra space that has been added to any part of the sewing pattern. Doesn't always just have to be in one area. It can be added in different areas. And it has to do with movement, the style, and as well as the comfort. So you usually find out what the pattern is in the final garment measurements. So oftentimes on PDF patterns, there's a chart with final garment measurements, and that is the measurement of the actual garment. If you lay that finished blouse down and you measure the bust area, you measure the waist area, you measure the hips, you measure the sleeve, whatever it is, the length, that is the final garment measurements chart. And to make it very simple, that is where you find out if this thing will fit you. The pattern will fit you and how it will fit you. Will you like that fit? So we can have a really loose fit, you can have a really tight fit, and you will find that out in the final garment chart. And how you do that, I won't go in depth here, but you compare the final sizing to your actual measurements. And that's the ease table I'm going to give you, that calculator that you can download, is comparing the actual garment measurements to your body measurements. And then you'll know how much fabric is extra or how much fabric is not extra, how much less fabric there is than your body size. So very quickly, we have two different types of ease. Sorry, when I made this slide, I always forget about the camera. The camera has to go somewhere. Okay, maybe I'll make myself a little bit, whoops. Sorry, there we go. Okay, so positive ease, it means more. Positive plus, it means more. So the clothes are bigger than the body. And you can see that in this dress over here. You can see the model is quite slim and the dress is quite a bit bigger than her body. It's hanging loose. It's loose around the bust. It's not fitted at all over there. It's not fitted on her arms. So this garment actually has quite a lot of positive ease in it. And it's trends come and go. And oversized is in again, the oversized blazer, the oversized wide leg trousers, those kinds of things. So positive ease is trendy, but of course you get different degrees of positive ease. Just because it's positive or more doesn't mean it's oversized. Even a fitted trouser that is relatively fitted to your body, if it's made from a woven fabric, is going to have positive ease because the fabric can't stretch. Which brings me to negative ease. Negative ease is stretchy fabric. It's smaller than your actual body shape and body size. If you think of a pair of leggings, of swimwear, when you hold it up against your body, it's actually smaller than your body, but it stretches to fit. So anything bodycon, anything active wear tends to have negative ease. Swimwear, underwear, things that are made out of stretchy fabrics have negative ease. Okay, and then why is this important? Why is ease important? 3 reasons: for comfort, fit and silhouette, and for range of motion. Now, everything isn't about it being comfortable and being loose. If you think of a swimming costume, you don't want the swimming costume to be loose. That's going to be uncomfortable. You want it to fit the body, not to stretch out while you're swimming, not to be loose and baggy while you're swimming. So the proper ease ensures that the garment is comfortable but doesn't feel restrictive. You want to be able to breathe as well, of course. And it prevents the fabric from pulling and bunching in awkward areas. It just enhances wearability. So ease, if we can use an example of cycling shorts, for example, they definitely have a negative ease. They are very fitted to the body, but the negative ease serves a purpose, and the purpose is that it can the garment can serve its purpose. So you can cycle in it without fabric bunching, chafing, especially if you are someone who cycles far. I don't, so I might have my terminology wrong in terms of cycle shorts here, but I think everyone understands what I mean there. Okay, and then next, of course, fit and silhouette. So ease contributes to the overall fit of the garment, of course. Is it snug? Is it loose? Is it a bodycon dress? Is it a flowy skirt? It affects how it drapes on the body, the visual presentation of that. So a tailored princess line coat is going to visually, the fit and the silhouette is going to be very different from an oversized waterfall cardigan. So that's how that all comes down to ease as well, and how it drapes on the body, which also influences, of course, the fabric that you'll use. And then range of motion. The amount of ease built into a garment in certain areas is important for it to perform those movements. If you think of a dancer's outfit, it needs to be able to move a certain way. But also, if you want something flowy, you'd like that range of motion. You obviously want to move your body, so you need to have ease in a sleeve cap. But it also prevents strain on the seams. In other words, it prevents your clothes from falling apart. And now that was just a very quick 5-minute crash course on ease. But now we're getting to figuring out your fit. So you can use the ease of a sewing pattern to find out how something will fit you and whether you should sew a different size. So before you gasp and everyone sends me inbox messages and comments about how wrong this is, yes, you're allowed to choose a different size than the sewing pattern tells you to choose. So even if the pattern tells you use your bust size or use your waist or use your hips, if you look at the final garment measurement chart and you don't like the ease of the garment, you can make it smaller or bigger. It's up to you. So an example, when I'm sewing with viscose, with some just normal viscose woven, I will often sew a smaller size because viscose kind of grows on you as the day wears on. As the fabric heats up, it sort of stretches out a little bit, especially if I'm sewing pants or a skirt. Then I'll go down a size, always obviously checking that it will still fit me. But many pattern designers just stick to the textbook ease, and textbook ease is 4 to 6 centimeters bust, waist, and hips. Adding that much to the sewing pattern, not always taking into consideration which fabric will be used. If you're sewing with linen, which is much less forgiving, then you will have that range of ease. But if you're sewing, like I say, with viscose, so many new fabrics that are a little bit more forgiving in a slightly fitted style and have that grow. I don't know if I can say grow, but it kind of stretches out. I actually have a photo example somewhere. Then you can have lower ease and you can have 3 centimeters of ease. So let's have a look. My kids are home, if you can hear them. They're in the background. And this is Eliana. She's joining us for this training really quickly. She's a 1.5 years old. And this happens sometimes when I'm doing live-ish. I like to call them live-ish trainings, meaning I just do the training from start to end. Okay, so we're going to figure out your fit. And like I said, you can use the ease of the pattern. You're going to download the free ease calculator tool, which is, let me just find it. There. Which looks like this. You can download this. Am I still recording, and why can't I see? Wat het gebeur? She's all-ooing here. Okay. So step 1 is to download the free ease calculator, and it looks like this. It's Confused to Creative Ideal Ease Calculator. It's just a Google Sheets. Very simple. Please make a copy for yourself. I think when you click the link, it should ask you to make a copy. And then measure your own body. So you're going to measure your bust, waist, hips, and thigh. I find those are the most relevant to the actual spots on the sewing pattern. Okay, so step 1 is to download that, and then step 2 is take your body measurements, as I mentioned. So you're going to take your full bust, your waist measurement, your thigh measurement. You can do anything. You can do upper arm, you can do your shoulders. Those are also very important. That's important if you have difficulty finding something that fits on your shoulders. You can do that as well. Generally, I find that is something that you have to actually measure on your body and alter a pattern to fit you in those areas. But in this case, we just want to see what your perfect, I do air quotes because there's no such thing as a perfect fit, which is funny because I actually have a course called The Perfect Fit, right? Okay, carrying on. My kids are on holiday, so you might hear them in the background. And then step 3 is to find your favorite items and measure them. So I have measured 2 t-shirts. This one, as you can see on the left over here, came out of the bag with my summer wardrobe and as I was unpacking it. And I remembered this t-shirt is one of my favorites. It's well worn, it's worn out. So I'd love to recreate it. So I measured it. What I like about it is it's a little bit fitted over my bust, but it's really loose over the rest of my body. So I actually like that. And then the striped t-shirt on the right, what I like about the striped t-shirt is it's got quite a loose fit, and I really liked the loose fit of it. I bought it recently on sale, and all I do on the garment, of course, you've worn these items before, so you know where they fit you. You can, of course, put them on and assess. Just mark, maybe use a pin, use a piece of chalk or something, mark where the waistline hits you, where the hip hits you, where the bust line hits you, and then lay it as flat as possible and measure those areas. Now, remember, if you're measuring across the front, you have to multiply it by 2 because, of course, you want to get the whole ease right around. So I've already multiplied by 2. And the first one, you can see the final garment measurement of the first t-shirt is 96 centimeters. And of the second one is 112. So the first one for me personally, this is for me a good example of a semi-fitted tee. For me, sometimes I want something slightly more fitted. And then the one on the right for me is a loose fit, almost an oversized fit. Then when you have those measurements, you are going to enter them into the ease table. So let me show you how this works. I've only measured the blouse in one area, or the t-shirts in one area, because they're relatively straight down, as you can see. So I'm just going to use the same number. But if you've got something a bit more fitted or that flares out more like a trapeze type of garment, then you're going to measure it in 3 or 4 areas to get that measurement. Remember to multiply by 2 so that you've got the measurement right around. You can, of course, measure around, but let's all save each other some time here, right? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to enter these amounts, and I'm actually going to take the loose fit one first, just, I'll do both, just to show you what this little ease calculator is going to do for us. And I'm trying to try and get everything in. Okay, well, I'm just working on the t-shirt, so that's fine. So I've already put those measurements in, the 96 centimeter from the semi-fitted t-shirt, and the hips were, it wasn't 100, it was like 98 or something. And it doesn't go all the way down to my lower hip, so that's actually kind of irrelevant. But here you can see ideal t-shirt ease. So I like slightly fitted over the bust, but I like it slightly looser over the waist. But that's not my favorite oversized one at the moment. The favorite oversized one is actually the 112 centimeters one. You can see the numbers change here in the ease. So this is the amount. Just make it really clear for you to see. And this is in centimeters. It doesn't matter. You can use inches as well. This is how much extra space is in the sewing pattern right around my body at that point of measure. And that's what I like to wear. So I like 18 centimeters of ease around my waist. And even if it sounds like really like a lot, because it is a lot, it has to do with the design. I have the same calculation here, and if you're measuring trousers on your thigh area that's slightly more fitted, there you can see if there's a minus in front of it. I'm just putting numbers in here. That means if there's a minus in front of it, it means that that's how much smaller than your body it is. So I'm guessing then that's a stretch item. And you can go on and do this too. With each one, you can enter your details in the My Favorite Blouse, My Favorite Pants, and you can use that to figure out your ideal pattern size. And that's it. I hope this mini training has been helpful. Use this to figure out if a pattern will fit you. Write it down somewhere. You can use the calculator over and over. You can also enter the final garment measurements that are on a sewing pattern. And I'm being joined here by another little girl. There she is. There she is. This is my oldest. You can also check the final garment measurements chart on the back of the sewing pattern, and you can enter that in the column that says My Favorite T-shirt. Okay, if you have any questions, please ask. All the kids are coming in now. They're on holiday. Remember to get your ease calculator and use it. And please ask any questions in the comments and let me know if this was helpful. And let me know what you'd like our next training to be about.